Hey, everybody. Hope you're having an awesome Monday. Who's ready for an awesome week? I think we are.
Woohoo!
Woo! Todd, Schroth here, Agents Who Win, and Coach Daniel Betancourt with our Coaching Monday Tips.
What's going on, everybody? Today we're covering the exciting information, top 10 questions to ask a broker when interviewing them. So this is to stay in theme and on topic with our theme for this month, which is new agents. Why do so many agents fail when they enter the real estate industry? So we're covering all topics that will help newer agents entering the real estate industry. And this is one that as soon as you finish taking that test and the state exam and they hand you that paper that says you passed, this is the next task on your list, is to choose a broker and start interviewing brokers and where are you going to hang your license. So that's what we're helping you with today.
I think this should have been our first show in this topic, just because this is the biggest thing that people need to look at. But let's start with number one, fees and commissions split. It's the first on the list, but it's not the most important. We wanted to kind of dive into that. So everyone's always about, I don't want to give my broker all that money. I don't want to give my team that money. And they don't realize what that goes towards. And everyone's always about their bottom dollar. But let's talk about, the bottom dollar of the deal. Go ahead.
Right. The brokerage, the brokerage has expenses. Obviously, they take on a lot of liability. They're providing resources, hopefully, and those things cost them money. They have insurances and rent to pay, and they're also should be giving their agents support. So it costs them money. They can't just give it all away, and that's why they became brokers. They also want to earn an income. So it's really important when you're joining a brokerage. Some brokerages have fees. Some have very high fees. Todd and I are familiar with that. And other ones have no fees, but, they all have a commission split. So the commission split is basically when you close a transaction, what percentage of the gross commission will the agent get? What percentage of the gross commission goes to the broker? So remember, we talked about it on another episode. Just because the commission split to the agent is very high, that doesn't mean anything if that brokerage isn't doing anything to help you grow your business, because 100% of zero is still zero. So what's in our opinion, what's most important is who's going to help you close the most transactions and actually get experience quickly.
No, that's exactly it. Because every brokerage offers something different, and there's, if the 100% model was the best model, everyone would be there. So step number two is evaluating the brokerage culture. Culture is a big thing, and people, want to pay for culture, especially like even in our world of the cloud-based, there's still so much culture here locally for us and nationally that we get without the standard brick and mortar type brokerage, even though we have our offices. People want to be around culture and still have those coffee conversations.
Right. So you want to be a part of a movement or a brokerage, a team that has similar goals as you, and similar types of people. You want to work with ethical people. So it's one thing to say, hey, I want to do big things. I want to close 100 transactions a year. And it's possible that everyone wants to do that. But how you get to that point could be very different. One person wants to do it very ethically and really cares about helping the customers as much as possible. Another one might be just, cutthroat, dog eat dog, no matter what it takes. So even though you have the same goal, the culture of how to reach that goal could be very different. So it's really important to, some teams and brokerages they say we're family oriented, right? Like everyone helps each other. They do activities outside of the workplace together. They're chatty and friendly with each other outside of work. And other ones are just, call centers. So you want to examine the culture, ask the brokerage about their culture.
It's a big thing. Decide between a franchise or independent. We both came out of the franchise world. I've never been in an independent office. I almost went to an independent when I left the Remax franchise. I decided to go to another big, box broker, or I don't want to call it big box brokerage, but another, model with a brand name behind it. That's where you can decide your culture as well. Do I want the culture of the franchise model or the independent culture? And each of them are going to offer different things. If you want brand or, the tools that they offer, or you want the independent where it feels like you're at home and, the other models there, but they're limited to what they can offer you.
Right. So the independent shops, there are the different levels, obviously, of independent. EXP is considered independent, and we've got how many agents right now? Over 50,000 agents.
Yeah.
And then there are independent brokerages that some people might call a mom and pop shop, where it's just, a small office in a little downtown spot of a town, and they've got 7 or 8 agents in there. So there's big variations for independent. So what would you say is a benefit for franchise versus independent, and vice versa?
The idea for me in independent more comes down to the smaller mom and pop shops. I know we're considered independent because we are one broker per state. But I think with the franchise model or the larger brokerage models like that, you've got a lot more tools you can access, a lot more people to rely on, bigger referral sources that are out there, the conventions, the conferences, things along that line. Mm-hmm. If you're an independent, you're very limited to the tools that they offer, that they have, that they can scale with. As like with Remax, we had Bouge and a bunch of other stuff. With EXP, we've got KB Core, which you spend $500 a month on that, but they buy the bulk product $50 a month. Mm-hmm. So those are things that you can get. You're not going to get a small mom and pop to provide you with some crazy software or provide you with the massive tools that you can with the bigger brokerages,
because they don't get a big break on those things.
Yep.
So that was number 3. Number 4 is learn the brokerage's reputation, learn what their strengths are, their niche, right? So different, I can think of some brokerages in town where you only see their signs on 10-acre properties or more. So if you're going over there and you're like, I'm going to sell 100 homes a year, and everyone in the office is selling land or, horse property or something like that, you just want to be aligned with a brokerage that has strengths for where you want to grow, and their niche aligns with what you plan to be doing.
No, I think it's a great thing too. So if you're looking at the independents, for example, there might be some that specialize in downtown condos where you're not going to go there if you're, the larger area residential style versus the high rise stuff. Right. That's very, very niche oriented, or the strength, that broker's got a bad reputation for what he does with his agents. Well, if I've heard that, I don't want to go to that brokerage. So those are things you've got to, as you talk to people, get opinions in the local markets on what you have going on.
Right. Number 5 is make sure the brokerage and the broker will offer support. So what kind of support will I be getting if I were to join your brokerage? Some brokerages, they just want experienced people, or they don't care who they get as long as those people pay them their fees. They offer very limited support because maybe they're offering 100% split, so they can't afford to offer too much support. The broker's out there trying to close deals himself just to put food on the table.
The right financial model makes a difference. Are you offering transaction support, or are you offering scripting and buyer leads and listing leads and other stuff? So it all depends on what you have coming in there.
Right. Yep, that's right. So number 6 is marketing. Does the brokerage offer any marketing? Are you going to benefit from any marketing that the brokerage offers you? So some brokerages, some global companies, they spend millions of dollars in brand name recognition, which helps drive customers to their websites, and those websites can generate leads for the agents. And other brokerages do nothing, and they say it's all up on the agent to produce their own business and leads.
That's the big one. Marketing is a big piece you've got there. As we spend a lot of money trying to do our pay-per-click and our Facebook ads and our spear marketing and everything else. So it's a big piece that's out there. You got to make sure that if the brokerage isn't doing it, they need to be able to show you how to do it.
Right.
Number 7, tools and tech. It's like what does the technology, which we've discussed already, do they offer to you as an individual agent? Indie offices are going to be harder to get than the franchise models because of the power behind the numbers of the money. Our company, we've got KB Core, we've got EXP World for all of our training. Eliminates the need for the large offices for training space.
Right. So, in a company that a larger brokerage, they have more resources to have better tools, in my opinion, better tools, more state of the art technology versus a small independent, brokerage that might have 10 agents in it. That brokerage doesn't have that same level of resources, so it's going to cost a lot more money for that broker to be effective in those areas. Number 8 is office space. So are you the kind of agent that wants to work from an office most of the week? Some agents prefer to work from home. Some agents do a mixture, but if, depending on how important that is to you, it's a question that you should ask. What is the situation for office space? Again, a small brokerage might have one office in town. A larger brokerage might have many offices all over town.
Are they partnered with other offices? Like in Orlando, on our market, we've got 9 offices that we have access to use. Even though we're a cloud-based brokerage, we all have our brick and mortar. I like to go to a physical office. If we didn't have this, we have opportunities for like Regis and some of the other similar models that allow us to go in and use conference rooms and things.
Right. So the number 9 is leaders. Can the leadership help me grow a team? So if you are an agent that is aspiring to just crush it in real estate and, maybe do more than 10 deals a year and you want to continuously grow, is this brokerage or is the broker one that will help you grow? Do they have the experience and the level of success to help you grow? Some brokerages, there's differing opinions on these things. So it's something that if you want to one day lead a team, it's an important question to ask your broker.
Well, and is there a team already there that can help? You can kind of guideline off of, when we started our teams, there wasn't teams at our other office we were in. So it was like we were trying to learn by mistake is what it came down to. So it was like if we had an office that already had a team set up that could help us model that, perfect. We would have had, I think, a faster track to success.
Right. Yep. Trial and error.
Trial by fire. Number 10, any other incentives that they offer you? I know a lot of them will say we'll give you free business cards, folders, stationery, signs, things along that line. Our company, we get revenue share off agents' production. We get stock in the company when we sell a house. Those are some good incentives on our side. But what are they going to offer you as far as incentives? Do you need to pay for your signs? Because again, sign panels aren't cheap. Lock boxes aren't cheap. Every listing you have $500-$600 sitting in just waiting for that to close to be able to get reimbursed.
Yes. So it's an important question to ask. A lot of agents, I think new agents especially, they don't think to ask these questions because they're new. So that's why we're doing this video today to help you have the questions that you need to ask. Rewatch this video, write down all the questions. When you go into that interview, ask these questions because that's the point of this video, is to give you a template when you're interviewing brokers. And hopefully this was helpful. Even if you're switching brokers, these are great questions to ask as well, even if you're an experienced agent.
When I switched companies from RE/MAX to EXP, I went through and wrote down a lot of these things about things I wanted to know about the company and got answers to those before I even made the decisions. So it's good to have that and have a notebook with a paragraph space so you can get your notes and kind of compare what you need to do.
A bonus question that you can ask is, agents, if I were to take a poll from all of the agents in your office, what would you say might be the most common complaint that I might hear? Just to give a level of authenticity, like everything can't be peaches and cream with a brokerage. So there are always going to be, you want a lot more positives than negatives, but there are always going to be a couple of negatives. So a lot of times they ask you that as the applicant, but you can answer it, but also ask them the same question. What kind of complaints would I find if I were to research, complaints about the brokerage? And that will also give them an opportunity to handle those objections, and explain away if need be. So hopefully these 10 tips and the 11th bonus one help you in your brokerage search. And we're always here to help if you need guidance or help in that. And we'll be talking to you later in the week.
Awesome, guys. You have an awesome Monday and have a great week.
See y'all.